Sevyn Streeter, and you know I'm hanging out with you know I got soul.
All right, Sevyn, so your single Won't Stop, you know, doing huge things on radio right now, top 10, you know, you added Chris Brown to it, you know, kind of gave it a new life. What do you feel like bringing him onto the song was able to, you know, kind of bring to it?
Man, I keep saying that they bamboozled me because I didn't know that he was gonna be on the record, and they played it for me. Tina played it for me one day, and you know, normally I'm just thinking, oh, maybe it's a mix or something, and then his part came in, and I kind of lost my mind a little bit. So just a tiny bit, I freaked out because, you know, I've done records with him before on his albums and his mixtapes, but it's different. It just like it touched a little place in here,
right?
Because you know it's my record, and for him to get on one of my songs, like it just made my day.
Right. So the EP, Call Me Crazy But, is coming out early November. What can we expect on there?
Well, Call Me Crazy But is my EP, and it comes out November 5th. It's a 7-song EP, and it's basically just talking about the cycle of a relationship and, you know, all of the different emotions that you go through in it. The reason that it's called Call Me Crazy But is because, you know, like a lot of times in relationships, you know, you get into it with your girlfriend or with your boyfriend, and, you know, we're quick to say, you know what, you acting crazy. Like, you're crazy, or, you know, she's crazy, or he's crazy. And it's like the person who's, you know, normally being called that, they have their reasons, and they feel like, okay, well, call me crazy, but didn't you just lie about that? Or call me crazy, but didn't you just say this, that, and the third, but really this is what really, you know what I mean? So it's like, call me crazy, but, and then all the rest of the songs in the EP kind of just explain all of the call me crazy, but how come my ex-boyfriend, you know, becomes my next boyfriend, you know what I mean? And so on and so forth. So gotta get it. It's November 5th.
What can we expect on there sound-wise?
Sound-wise, I worked with some really dope producers who I consider to be friends of mine. So I got to work with D-Mile on the EP. I worked with, you know, the interns on the EP. I worked with Diplo and Free School, which is It Won't Stop with Chris on it, is on the EP. I worked with Them Joints. I worked with a producer out of Atlanta named Cam. So it's really, really good. You know, writer-wise, I worked with Eric Bellinger and Jado and you know, Ashley wasn't on that. But I worked with a lot of great producers and writers. But vibe-wise, it just feels more so like, it feels like truth. It feels like a story, and it feels like it really does feel like the cycle of a relationship. Why? Because it's kind of like the cycle of my you know, one of my relationships, and something that I went through from meeting somebody and just thinking the world of them, and just being in this vibe with them, to going through it and having, you know, your first conflict, and to kind of falling apart, to you turning back around and going right back to them. I feel like I'm not the only person that goes through that. You know, I've been through that. My girlfriends go through it. I'm sure you've been through it. Y'all have been through it. So it's like the EP is what that is.
Right. And along those lines, in addition to the EP leading up to it, you've got the hotline set up for your fans. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the hotline is because, you know, just like, I mean, I share my stories all the time. I share them through my songs, through my writing. I share my stories. And for the EP, Call Me Crazy, but the whole EP, that's coming from my perspective, in my own relationships and my friends and my perspective. But the hotline is for my fans. I want to know, you know, what do y'all go through? What are your Call Me Crazy, but, you know, crazy relationship stories that you've been through? I want to hear those things, because really what it is for me, it's kind of low-key research for my album. You know what I mean? Like, subconsciously, I like to know what they think. I like to know what you guys go through. I like to know all of it, because I want to write the soundtrack to your lives. Like, I want my album comes out, I want you to feel like, oh my God, that's exactly what I went through. How does she know that? Well, I know that because you guys talked to me on my hotline. Nice. You know what I mean? So that's what the hotline is for. I just want to know, what are all of your crazy, Call Me Crazy, but, you know, crazy relationship stories.
Right.
That's all.
Really cool. So in addition, to your singles you've had out this year, you've had a lot of success writing. Chris Brown,
Thank you.
Tamar, Ariana Grande. Did you feel like that success has made you less or more patient with your own music?
Maybe more patient.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, writing for other artists has definitely made me more patient because I learned that, and for some reason I always kind of, for one artist in particular pops in my head when I talk about the subject, and that's Alicia Keys. It's Alicia Keys, because working with her, I just got to see like how it's just, I just feel like she's not pressed about, about her music. I just feel like she does what feels good. At least that's what I left with from working with. That's the vibe that I left with from working with Alicia. She just has a spirit about her and her music that just feels organic and not rushed, and it just feels good. And I carry that spirit with me too into my sessions. That's what I learned, because I used to really, really get frustrated. If I had, writer's block, I would get frustrated, or if I couldn't hit a note, I would get frustrated or whatever. And I try not to do that anymore. And I definitely think that's because I've been around a lot of really great artists and been around a lot of great sessions, and got to see that it's just music. You know what I mean? Music not supposed to make you stressed. It's supposed to make you feel good. So put stress in, walk away from it, come back, and it'll work itself out.
Right. Cool. Now, do you ever get recognition from fans for some of these hits you've written for other artists? I know you perform them, at your show sometimes, but do fans recognize that you're the one behind it?
You know what? I feel like they're starting to, and I think that that's cool, not just for me, but just for other just writers. Period. I'm starting to see more and more online that fans are like, oh, I didn't know such and such wrote this song. I don't know. So, and for me, I think that's dope. Because people don't realize sometimes that people feel like sometimes the only role in this industry is to be in front of the camera, be an artist. But songwriting is just, to me, just as important as being an artist, because what would the artist sing if they didn't have a song to sing? So I just have so much respect for just songwriters. A lot of my best friends are incredible songwriters. So I think that's cool, because now I got fans going, oh, I didn't know that you wrote Taylor Braxton All the Way Home. Yeah. Or it's like they're growing in an appreciation for just the art of songwriting itself. So I think that's cool.
So a song like you wrote for Ariana Grande, The Way, would you ever consider or did you ever consider making that your own, or was that specifically for her?
You know what? We actually, the way that song came about, we wrote that in a session for Jordan Sparks. So myself and, my friend Harmony and Sherrod and Jordan, we wrote that together for Jordan. And then I was on the road and I got a phone call. I'm like, hey, so this artist named Ariana Grande cut the record. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And so I remember I went in and I looked it up on my laptop and listened to it, and was like, whoa, she bodied the record. She just killed it. And it's amazing. And to answer your question, did I ever consider keeping that record for myself? No, not at all, because I actually went into that session to write it for another artist. And anytime I do that, to go write for another artist, I leave my Sevyn the artist at the door. Right. And I am strictly songwriter hat is on, and that's what it's all about.
Right. So, now that you've gotten all these hits under your belt, how has the demand increased for your services as a writer? And are you able to balance that with being an artist?
That's a really great question. That's when I tell you that's a really great question, because especially weeks like this week, I've been in New York all week long, and day in, day out, we've been working. I have not slept, and I don't mind. It's whatever. It's great. But normally, if I were just an artist, when I get back to LA, I could take the week and just take my time, but I can't, because I actually have some really big sessions coming up from artists that I cannot name yet. But when it does come out, I'm like, remember that session I told you about? But I will say it's a male artist that I'm so excited about. He's one of my favorites, And so I'll probably get one day to kind of sleep in, and then after that, it's just all sessions for that artist, along with me still having to do rehearsals for the tour. For I'm going to tour with K.Michelle. I'm excited. So does that get a little hard at times, like songwriting and being an artist? Yeah, but at the same time, I thank God for it because I've been an artist, just strictly artist before, and a starving one, and that's a really hard life.
Right.
So thank God that I can be an artist and still fulfill that side of me, and still be able to write songs and take care of my bills.
Yeah.
So it works out.
I'm glad you mentioned a session with a male artist, because we rarely see females writing for males, and I'm glad we're going to be able to see something like that. So what is it like, putting that perspective of putting yourself into a male's state of mind?
You know what? What is that like? For me, just because I work with a lot of times I'm the only girl in the whole studio. A lot of times I'm the only girl there, unless I'm one of the girls that just came in and sat on the couch in the back to just watch what's going on. But no, I work with a lot of male writers, and conversations happen around me, and I go, really, why do y'all feel like that, or why do you? So it's like I learn from them, you know what I mean? And I kind of soak in, how they feel, and I pick up little things, and it really does help when it comes time to write for male artists. It helps a lot.
Cool. Look forward to hearing what you come up with.
Man, thank you. Thank you.
So as you mentioned, you're going on tour with K.Michelle.
Yes.
Tell us about what we can expect from you on there.
Man, on the K.Michelle Rebellious Soul tour, you can expect from Sevyn, you can expect just truth and a conversation, because I like to talk to my audience. Conversation. You can expect some good music. You can expect a lot of music, a lot of bass, a lot of drums, a lot of dancing.
Like you were mentioning to me, off the camera, you've been on tour, with groups before in the past. This is your first time as a solo artist. What's that going to feel like for you?
My first time being on tour by myself. I don't know what that's going to feel like. I've never experienced it before. Sheesh. I mean, I've been doing a lot of radio shows. Over the summer, I've done a lot of radio shows. So that part of it, I'm kind of used to performing by myself. But just being on a tour and in my own bus, by myself, I think it's going to be a little weird at first. But I'll have my dancers and my road manager and things like that. I think it's gonna be fine.
Right.
I'll probably it'll be fine. I'm gonna be on Skype a lot. Skype and FaceTime a lot.
Cool.
It'll be good.
Nice. So that's all we have for you. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, so I just want everybody to make sure that you get my EP. It's called Call Me Crazy, but it's going to be released on November 5th. So make sure you get that. Call Me Crazy But. And make sure you hit me up on Twitter. And I want to know what your Call Me Crazy Butts are. So # Call Me Crazy Butt, and let me know what's going on in your life. But my Twitter is @Sevyn, SEVYN. My Instagram is @Sev, the number 7EV. And my website is sevynstreeter.com. So hit me up.